Okay, let's start. So, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Thank you so much for joining our webinar today. My name is Jiawei, and I'm the Recruitment Proposition Manager at Into London. Today, we're going to walk through everything you need to know about our Into UK pathway programs, what they are, who they are for, and how they can open the door to a top UK university degree. So firstly, I want to give you a quick overview of what we will be going through today. We will start with the three core UK pathway programs, the International Foundation, the International Year 1, and the Pre-Masters. Then we will take a step back and visualize how each of these fits into a student's full study journey, so you can really picture the timeline. We will also go through some cost estimates to help with financial planning. After that, our Assistant Director of Recruitment, Catherine, will share some exciting recent updates from Into, including new products and policy changes you will want to know about. And of course, we will close with a Q&A. If you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat or speak out during the Q&A session. After the webinar, I will share the recording and the slides we used today with you, so you can always come back to watch it again or share it with your team members. So, what exactly is a pathway program? Think of it as a bridge, a carefully designed stepping stone between a student's current level of education and the entry requirements of a UK university. These are specialized, intensive, preparatory programs that combine academic subject teaching, study skills development, and English language training all in one. They exist because the international education system is incredibly diverse. A student coming from Malaysia, Nigeria, China, or Brazil may have excellent qualifications, but those qualifications don't always directly translate to UK A-level equivalency. The pathway program solves that problem, and crucially, upon successful completion at the required level, students have the guaranteed progression to their chosen UK university degree. The journey looks like this. A student comes from their home country education system, completes a pathway program, and then they move on directly into a UK university degree, whether that's a bachelor's or a master's. Now, who exactly is the pathway program designed for? There are four main types of students who benefit most. First, students with an academic gap. Either their qualifications aren't directly recognized by UK universities for entry, which is very common across many education systems globally, or they don't have strong enough grades for direct entry to a bachelor degree and need a second chance. Second, students whose English level needs to be raised. Maybe they are currently at IELTS 5.0 or 4.5, but need to reach 6.0 or 6.5 for their target university. During the study at the Into Pathway programs, we have the dedicated academic English module to help students to improve their English level, help them to be better prepared for their upcoming bachelor or master degree study. More importantly, for our guaranteed progressions, as long as the student's English module grades meet the progression requirements, they do not need another IELTS to progress to our partner universities. Third, students who want to switch subjects. For example, a student who studied arts at high school but now wants to pursue a business degree. And fourth, students who simply want preparation and confidence. They may technically qualify for direct entry to a UK bachelor degree, but want that extra year to get used to UK academic culture, teaching styles like tutorials and lectures, and independent study before diving into a full degree. Pathway programs serve all of these students. So now let's look at the first program in detail, the International Foundation. This is a level 3 qualification, which means it's equivalent to UK A levels, and it's designed for students who have completed around 11 to 12 years of schooling. That could be SPM in Malaysia, IGCSEs, or similar secondary qualifications from around the world. The program typically runs for one academic year, about 9 months. For some Into centers, there's also an accelerated two-term option available for stronger candidates. During the foundation year, students study a combination of subject fundamentals relevant to their intended degree pathway. Options include business, art and design, medicine, computer science, law, engineering, science, social sciences, along with academic English throughout. At INTU centers, we provide 2 to 5 term course options to suit students with different English language levels. There are two types of progression routes. If the student is studying at an international study center that's physically located on or near a university campus, they receive a guaranteed direct progression offer into year one of that university's bachelor's degree. If they are at an choice center, apart from the guaranteed offer we provide, they gain access to over 100 UK and overseas partner universities through the UCAS application process, which gives the student a bit more flexibility. Either way, the total study journey from foundation to a full honor degree is 4 years if the student is taking a standard 3-term foundation program. And in Scotland, students will have guaranteed progression directly into year 2 of a 4-year undergraduate degree. In total, it will be 4 years as well. Let's break down what that 4-year journey actually looks like. In year 1, the student is on the foundation program, building subject fundamentals, developing academic English skills, and learning how to conduct research and write academically. This is entirely delivered by INTU in a supportive environment with smaller class sizes and dedicated pastoral care. Then from year 2 onwards, the student is officially enrolled at the university. This is the official start of their bachelor's degree. Year 2 is their first year of university. Year 3 deepens their knowledge, and year 4 is the final year of the bachelor degree, culminating in a dissertation and final exams. At the end of that journey, the student graduates with a full UK honours degree, which is internationally recognized and highly valued by employers worldwide. Students may also apply for the sandwich course, which means they will have the opportunity to undertake an additional year either studying abroad or a placement year between second year and final year of their undergraduate study. The second program is the International Year 1. This is a level 4 qualification, equivalent to the first year of a university degree itself. This program is for students who are a step ahead. Perhaps they already have A-levels or have completed a foundation program elsewhere, but they just missed the direct entry grades, or they have strong academic but need additional English language support to meet the university's requirements. The IYO delivers the actual first-year university curriculum, the same content that other students are studying at the university, but in a smaller, more structured class environment with integrated English support built in at an INTU center. And because the IYO is equivalent to year 1 of the degree, students who successfully completed progress directly into year 2 of the bachelor's program at the university. This means the total study journey is only 3 years, exactly the same as a domestic student doing a standard 3-year degree. Our International Year 1 program also accepting students from other qualifications. The entry requirement is slightly higher than our foundation programs. So for students who have finished the high school from their home country and met our entry requirements, they can choose to apply for the IYO instead of the foundation program to save a year of time and money. Again, in Scotland, students will have guaranteed progression directly into year 3 of a 4-year undergraduate degree. So in total, it will be 3 years as well. So how does that 3-year journey map out? In the pathway year, the students complete the International Year 1 program at an INTU International Study Center or an INTU Choice Center. They are studying the full first-year university curriculum, but with the added benefit of smaller group sizes and integrated English language development. Then in year 2, they join the university as a second-year student, sitting alongside with the direct entry students. And in year three, they complete their final year modules, sit their exams, and submit their dissertations. And at the end, they receive the same award as any other graduates, a Bachelor of Art or Bachelor of Science honor degree from their UK universities. No asterisk, no qualification difference. It's the full degree. And for the international year one, when students progress to the university, they will also be able to have some sandwich options as well, which means they can add an additional year for study abroad or placement year in between their year two and year three study at the university. Now let's move to the postgraduate route, the pre-master's program. This is a level 6 qualification and it's designed for students who already hold a bachelor's degree or diploma but face one of several challenges for direct master's entry. Perhaps their undergraduate degree is from a system that's not directly equivalent to a UK bachelor's. Perhaps their grades aren't quite at the level the university requires. Or perhaps they are switching disciplines entirely, for example, moving from an engineering background into business. The pre-master's is flexible in duration. It can range from one term to a full academic year, depending on the student's profile and needs. During the programs, students focus on research skills, advanced academic writing, subject-specific modules, and English for academic purposes. All the tools they will need to thrive at master's level. Upon completion, they progress into a one-year master's degree, making the total journey just 2 years. The 2-year pre-master's to master's journey is one of the most efficient routes we offer for students who want to study master degree in the UK. During the pathway year, students build up their research methodologies, learn how to structure essays and dissertations, and work to raise their English to the IELTS 6.5 level or equivalent required for most postgraduate programs. Then, in the university year, they enroll directly into a one-year master's degree. Within just 2 years of starting their pathway, they walk away with a full UK postgraduate master's degree. This is an incredibly attractive and time-efficient option for ambitious students. And I also want to take a moment to highlight a really important feature of many of our into pathway programs, the ICAS route, which stands for Integrated Confirmation of Acceptance for Studies. What ICAS means in practice is that the pathway program and the university degree are combined onto a single student visa. This is a huge practical advantage. Students don't need to apply for a second visa between their pathway year and their degree. It's all on one document, one study plan from day one. It also means students do not need to return home between their pathway and degree programs, which eliminates a lot of stress, cost, and logistical complexity. Another benefit is that the ICAS route accepts a wider range of English language qualification. It's not limited to IELTS only, and students on the ICAS route are permitted to work up to 20 hours per week during term time, just like standard student visa holders. This is a really seamless and reassuring experience for students and their families. So now that we have covered all three pathway programs individually, let's compare them side by side so it's easy to advise students on which route is right for them. The foundation is for students who have completed 11 to 12 years of education, your high school leavers. It takes 1 year and it leads to year one of a bachelor degree, a total of 4 years to graduation. The international year one is for students with stronger academic foundation, perhaps A-levels or equivalent, who are ready for degree level content but need additional support or miss direct entry requirements. It's also 1 year, but it skips straight to year two of the bachelor degree, meaning just 3 years to graduation in total. And the pre-master's is for degree holders looking to enter a master's program. It's often 1 year or less and leads into a 1-year master's degree, a total journey of 2 years. The key question to ask any student is, what level of education have you completed and what's your target degree? That will almost always point you to the right program immediately. So now let's look at how these three routes compare visually against a direct entry pathway. You can clearly see that the foundation routes add one preparatory year before year one of a 3-year degree, giving a 4-year total. The IYO route also takes 1 year, but because it replaces year one of the bachelor degree, the total is still 3 years, matching the direct entry timeline. And the pre-master's sits at the postgraduate level, adding one prep year before the master's year for a 2-year total. What this chart reinforces is that our pathway programs aren't just consolation routes, they're structured, proposed for journeys that lead to the same prestigious UK degree outcomes, just with the right preparation built in. And let's talk about the costs, because this is often one of the first questions students and family would ask. These are illustrative figures in British pounds. Please do note that their estimates and actual cost will vary depending on the specific university, location, and the student's lifestyle. For tuition, pathway program fees typically range from around 12,000 to 22,000 pounds per year. Undergraduate degree tuition at UK universities for international students generally falls in the 18,000 to 30,000 plus range annually, and postgraduate programs are typically between 20,000 to 35,000 pounds per year. On top of tuition, students need to budget for living costs. In London, that's typically around 16,000 pounds per year, while the rest of the UK tends to be more affordable at around 12,000 pounds per year. I'd always recommend encouraging students and families to check the specific university and entry center websites for the most up-to-date fee information and to explore scholarship opportunities which can significantly reduce their costs. And also, if the student has decided to study in the UK, we would encourage them to confirm their places with Intu as soon as they can, so they can start looking for some more affordable accommodation options as well to save some money. Here's a map showing all of our entry centers across the UK, so you can see where they are located. We have 8 international study centers as well as 3 choice centers, including Into Manchester, Stirling International Study Centre, and Into London. Across these centers, we offer a wide range of pathway programs depending on a student's needs, such as university ranking, degree subject, financial budget, and preferred location. We can always help them to find the most suitable pathway program at one of our Into UK centers. Before we move on to our updates section, let me summarize the key takeaways from everything we have covered so far about the UK pathway programs. So first, flexibility. Whatever a student's starting point, there's a program designed to bridge the gap to their university goals. Second, support. Pathway programs aren't just academic. They're structured to support students' cultural adoption, well-being, and confidence as they transition to UK university life. Third, guaranteed progression. The clear, structured route to top UK degrees is backed by formal progression guarantees upon successful completion from an Into center. And fourth, choice. Students have control over the pace of their journey, whether they want to fast track or take the time they need to feel fully prepared. And now I will hand it over to Catherine for some exciting updates from Into recently.
Thanks, Jaway. Hi, everyone. I'm Catherine, Assistant Director for UK Student Recruitment. So on to the next slide, please, Jaway. I think you'll have to steer for me. As Jaway mentioned, we've had some recent exciting changes happening at Into with some new programs, new policies, trying to make things more streamlined and more accessible for our students. in the future. And so as you will all have experience within the industry itself, within international education, things have changed a lot recently. Student journeys are becoming more complex. There's lots of shifts in immigration and regulatory policies and environments, ongoing geopolitical uncertainty, which is very pertinent at the moment, and changing in the demands from students and where they want to study. So we want to be able to still continue to meet the expectations of students who want more flexible and personalized pathways, families that want reassurance and support, and universities that need partners who can extend reach and diversify recruitment. So next slide, please, Jawe. So what we're doing in order to meet these demands is trying to open up access even further to international education by making it more simple, clear, and supportive. Next slide, please. So what we've been doing recently includes changes to our IELTS requirements, which is the first major change I'll discuss. So you'll see on the table below for our different groups of study centres, our new IELTS requirements. So we have simplified and standardised the IELTS requirements that are now in place for our international foundation programmes. So this new model now benchmarks the 3-term International Foundation IELTS as 5.0 for the majority of our programs. And we've also standardized our sub-skill requirements a little bit further as well. So previously, many of our programs at 3-term foundation level may have required a 5.5 in IELTS, where now we are at 5.0 in the majority of our subject areas. And you can see in the table below the differences there with some lower requirements in sub-skills for some of our centres. And just a caveat that we do still have some exclusions for this. So programs that lead to university degrees with a higher IELTS requirement at maybe a 7.0, for example, which would be very consistent among health and medicine related programs. So they do still remain higher, but all of the information is available on our partner portal. And then also just to mention that when a student chooses an ICAS program, the entry requirements may still remain higher due to UKVI restrictions on the minimum IELTS for degree level programs. Next, please. We've also had a recent update to our under 18s policy. So because we do accept students who are under 18 onto our pathway programs, we do have policies in relation to accommodation and guardianship in place. These have changed a little bit. The biggest change is that now students are able to stay in purpose-built student accommodation, and they can arrange it directly with the accommodation provider. And the option is that the students would require a guardianship, but we will be partnering with a guardianship provider, and we can arrange all of this on the student's behalf. We've also extended from students who are under 18 to live with a close family member as long as they're over the age of 21. So previously, this policy was in place where only a student could live with a parent or guardian over the age of 21. But this has been expanded to now allow a close family member. And what UKVI defines as a close family member is a grandparent, a step-parent, and an aunt or uncle, brother or sister. So there is more flexibility now with this policy. Just to note that this policy isn't fully operational yet. So we haven't got our new terms and conditions or new contracts in place, but more information will be coming on this at the end of March. So do stay tuned for the final updates on when this is completely live. And then recently we've also had a range of new products. So both ICAS and standalone products. So in business, we've had a range of ICAS International Year 1 programs, both at Exeter and Newcastle University International Study Centres. Next slide, please. I'll go through these quite quickly. There's just a couple that I want to pick out in particular. So new products also include art and design at Manchester, and then we have our extended International Year 1 at the Queen's University Belfast International Study Centre. And I do just want to pick this one out separately as it is a slightly different model to everything, to the three main program types that we've discussed already in the session. So the extended International Year 1. This is an accelerated 12-month pathway program where the first term is an academic focused foundation bridge. So the students come in with GCSE or equivalent entry requirements onto a one-term foundation bridge. And then they progress directly onto our International Year 1 program after that. So this is aimed at high achieving students who have similar academic qualifications to students who would normally study on a foundation program, but have higher English language requirements. So it is a new program type for us at INTO, and it really makes for an interesting 12-month pathway. So normally our International Year 1 or foundation programs are a 9-month program. So this is a 12-month program because we have an additional term of foundation study at the start. So students can fast track from foundation through International Year 1 and to the second year of their degree program within a very similar timeline to a student studying on International Year 1 or even direct entry. And we have those subjects available in business, finance, and engineering. And let's go on to the next one. In engineering, then we also have a range of foundation and International Year 1 new ICAS programs at University of Exeter in chemical engineering, biomedical engineering, and robotics. And similarly at Newcastle, we've expanded our range of engineering ICAS programs to include aerospace, chemical, civil, electrical, mechanical, and naval. And the next one. And computer science. So this is a very exciting update that we launched in around November time of 2025. So we've increased or expanded our computer science portfolio now to include International Year 1 programs at Exeter, Newcastle, and City St George's, University of London. So we now do have a wide range of International Year 1 programs in computer science, joining our existing programs at Stirling and Queen's. So if you do have students who are interested in this subject area, you can be assured that they'll find a program with us at INTO at one of our centres. So it's a very exciting and exciting and interesting subject area at the minute. One of the increasing more popular subjects. And next, please. And then we have some additional new products. So very exciting. International Year 1 in law at City St George's University in London. This is the only International Year 1 program in law in London. So this is a very exciting new product for us within the portfolio. The law school at City had 4 British prime ministers who studied there, and the programs are accredited by the Bar Standards Board for the General Council of the Bar. So that is a very exciting new program for us in law, particularly in London. At INTO London, then we have launched our INTO qualification. So formerly our foundation programs were accredited by NCUK, and we're now delivering the program ourselves under our INTO qualification. But the changes still the changes mean that we still have our guarantees. with the same university progression opportunities. And we have seven global top 150 universities, nine Russell Group universities, and 20 plus universities in London. So for students, and Jawi can, I'm sure, explain it a little bit better than me, but for students who want a choice, as students who want flexibility after they complete their foundation program. Into London is a great option as that they have a choice to study at a lot of different universities all over the UK. Jawi, do you want to jump in and explain the choice at London a little bit more?
Yeah, sure. Before that, I want to give you an update about the guarantee progression for into London as well. With the new IQ qualification in Business Foundation and Science Engineering Foundation, now into London offers guaranteed progression to Queen Mary University of London as well, which is a really, really good university, very top ranked university, Russell Group University in London. So it's a very attractive option for international students, I believe. And so, yeah, for the Choice Center, as into London as a Choice Center, when students come in to study with us, they will have some guaranteed progression options, which, as long as the student meets the guaranteed progression requirement, they will be able to progress to these universities. But apart from these guaranteed progressions, they also have other over 100 UK universities and overseas universities they can apply for. They are also accepting our pathway qualifications from into London. During their study at into London, we have a placement team. The placement manager will help students for one-to-one meetings to discuss their application plan and provide lectures to help students to understand how to use the UCAS application, how to fill the UCAS application form, and how to write a good personal statement. And our academic English teacher will also review the students' personal statement and give them feedback to make sure they are providing the best one when they apply to the universities. And based on the students' application results through UCAS, the student then decide which university they want to progress to for their bachelor degree study and master degree study. So this is the choice center that gives students a much wider range of flexibilities when they considering which university to progress. The good thing for a choice center is that before the student come to the UK, they don't need to commit to any universities. They can come to study with us, spend a year of the pathway program study at into London, and during their study, we have the education fair for students to meet the admission team and recruitment team from a lot of high-ranked Russell Group universities and other universities in the UK. And we will also arrange day trips to the university campuses to help the student to understand what the university looks like and where they study at the university, so they can make the decision after fully considered and investigated the UK education systems and universities.
Great,
Um,
thanks, Jawi.
so now maybe we can move on to the Q&A session.
Sure.
If you have any
We've got
questions,
a question in the chat already around an offer letter for Into Manchester. And without seeing the full offer letter, I can't give exact advice on what is required, but I'm guessing with Into Manchester that we do probably require the IELTS for UK VI, as it will be a below degree level program. So yeah, but you can check that with your regional manager or drop us an email afterwards if you'd like us to check anything. But I would assume that would be a UKVI IELTS requirement. Feel free to turn your microphone on if you'd prefer to ask a question, or you can continue to drop them into the chat.